Of course, I used to dream about the fancy clothes, the college degree, the nice car, the big enough house, the perfect husband, the big promotion, the white sand vacation. And I got them all at some point. But guess what? Each one was just a passing moment of joy, pride, maybe a touch of vanity. In the end, they felt like check marks on a list that eventually didn't even feel like my list. Then comes the big question. What do you really want? At first, the answer was blurry, but the more I sat with it, the more obvious it became. I realized I'd been chasing the wrong rabbit through the wrong hole. Funny how the things I worked the hardest for gave me the shortest happiness, and the things I barely noticed ended up saving my sanity. This video isn't about writing down 5 things you're grateful for every morning, although honestly, waking up and realizing I was heading in the wrong direction should be at the top of mine. And right after that, the ability to question and update my list every time I got lost between meaningless distractions and superficial goals. My point is, I forgot to enjoy the things that don't glow like a screen, don't have a brand label, and don't turn heads with admiration or envy. Like a good cup of coffee. Your coffee, the kind no cafe in the world can match because you sip it mindfully in the quiet, cozy atmosphere of your home. For me, the anticipation alone, watching the coffee machine slowly fill my mug, is more enticing than most movie plots I've seen in my life. Or a quiet sunrise by the window when the world is still asleep, the house is clean, and the scent of a candle lingers in the air. I'm not an early bird, trust me, but every time I've caught a sunrise, my mind stopped scanning the day's to-do list. For a moment, I was simply happy to be alive, blessed to witness the kind of beauty only nature can offer, for free. One simple pleasure I never gave up, coffee aside, is reading. A book has its own texture, its own smell. Some books changed my life, my way of thinking, my direction. I'm always grateful for the privilege of receiving an author's wisdom and imagination. A good book pairs perfectly with a warm blanket in winter or the sound of birds while I sit on my porch, feeling grateful that I can still read without glasses. Then there's movie night on my sofa, my dog pressed against me, snoring louder than the main character's existential crisis. Or my favorite old cotton PJs, washed 1,000 times, still the first choice I reach for when opening my closet. They're one of my definitions of home. They've carried me through rough days, the rainy weekends that ruined my plans, the slightly too mean comment from a colleague. Those soft, loyal PJs remind me that a cold, rainy day can turn into a cozy one by the fireplace. And let's not forget the blessing of simply being able to get out of bed and open the door to a true friend who brings hot soup and aspirin when you're fighting a bad cold. Getting healthy again made me appreciate the simplest things, like the taste of a peanut butter sandwich after weeks of fear and uncertainty caused by a doctor's sentence hanging over my head. Recently, I rediscovered the joy of cooking a simple dinner, playing with colors and spices, and the healing smell of freshly baked bread in my kitchen. How can that even compare to home delivery or a restaurant meal served by someone who's assessing the price of your handbag in an attempt to estimate a potential tip? I'm becoming more aware that having enough food when you're hungry is more than a convenience, it's a gift. And what a great day it was when the sad little plant I bought from the grocery store across the street finally looked happy, just because someone gave it a chance. All it needed was tap water and a few kind words before going to bed. And yes, it has a name now. I find myself calling it a good day when a stranger lets me take the only free parking spot, when a neighbor fixes my dripping faucet, or when another one brings me apple pie because she remembers I'm crazy about it. These sweet crumbs of humanity sprinkled along our path shouldn't pass by unnoticed. Tell me about the simple things that put a smile on your face and teach you appreciation. I'm sure there are some treasures I haven't discovered yet. And thank you for passing by. These are my thoughts for today. Over and out.